Hello and welcome to Workshop 8, Setting Up Web Services. In this session, what we're going to look at is setting up the default website and then looking at per user websites and also how we can implement load balancing or using DNS across multiple servers. And what we're also going to look at is how, when we do that, we can actually set up round-robin load balancing within the DNS architecture. Now, before we get into this session, we're now starting to get to a point where I have a lot of machines. So I'm going to do a slight reconfiguration of what we've got. I'm going to drop out of having multiple DNS servers. Now, this is not how it would be done in a production environment, but because of the limited resources, I want to try and keep the number of machines down. So for this workshop, we're going to actually use the primary DNS server, which the client is then going to use, and I'm going to set up 3 web servers. Now, in this workshop, you can do this workshop with 2 web servers, but I'm going to do it with 3, but I'm reducing my DNS infrastructure. So just to have a quick look at this, what we'll do is we'll look at some of the requirements and then see what I've done to be able to map into them. So first of all, I'm going to use the Ubuntu desktop, so I need 1 virtual server for that. And it says creating 2 virtual servers, which I'm going to turn into web servers. If I have the resources, I'll use 3. I will use 3 because I'm going to reduce the number of DNS servers. So what I'm going to have to do is build these 3 web servers and then have the DNS and my client machine. So first thing I'm going to do is a little bit of planning. I have my client machine over here. And that is usually, when it gets its address from the DHCP server, is 10.168.100.13. Should still get the same address because I haven't got that many resources on this network. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to change the name server to be 10.168.100.150. So I'm going to point to my primary DNS server that I had in the earlier workshops. I'm not going to use the subdomains for this workshop, so I'm just going to ignore that server altogether. But I will have to open up access on this server for the work I'm going to do. Then what I'm going to do is have these 3 web servers, www1, 2 and 3. Now I've pre-created these 3 servers just to expedite how quickly I can get into the workshop. You will need to create yours separately. And I've also named those servers as well. They did have a different name. I've renamed them. So that's what I'm actually going to need for this workshop. So there's quite a bit of resource changes. So first of all, what I'm going to do is get up and running my virtual client machine. And then what I'll do is I'll start making some changes to the servers. So that machine's starting. So while that's starting, let's have a little look at what else I need to do. I need to install a partial LAMP deployment. So in this workshop, I'm only going to be working with Apache and PHP. So the additional components will come later. So for instance, the MySQL component will come later. In fact, that's session 10 we'll be doing that. I've got some forward and reverse lookups to set up. So I will need the DNS primary server for that. And I've got to do some zone testing, etc. So let's first of all get to the point where we actually have the servers configured in this, oops, where's it gone? There it is. Into this setup. So I'm going to have 3 servers and the primary. So the primary needs a little bit of work on it to get that up and running. Okay then, so what do I need to do to the primary server to get it where I need it? Well, let's bring in my client machine and get logged in. So student at Northumbria. Okay, and once that's up and running, we'll do Control-Alt-T and get a terminal up and we'll log into the DNS server. Okay, so there's my terminal. Let's log into the DNS server. So that'll be SSH student at 10.168.100.150. Now the changes I'll need to make will actually be on the namedconf local file for the zones for access. So sudo nano /etc/find/ conf.local. Now I've started making the changes already, so what I need to do in here is I'll allow query from local nets where I was actually limiting it to the servers, and I've done that for both the forward and reverse zones. The other zones, the OS and the security, I'm just going to leave them as are, and the logging is switched off as well. I could just comment those out, but it won't make any difference. They just won't be able to transfer the zones, and I'm not using those zones anyway. So if we save that off and exit, what we'd be able to do is go sudo systemctl restart bind9. Okay, now that's the DNS server up and running. So the next thing I need is the client, this client machine set up to use that server. So if we go into the wired settings, I'll now need to go in and change the DNS server, because at the moment I'm using the secondaries. So in IP4, we go to here and we simply take these out, and I'm just going to use the primary server. As I say, this is not how it would work in the production environment. We would use the secondary servers, but just for convenience of doing this workshop, that's the way we'll do it. So I'll quickly reset the network card, and I'll do a quick test on this machine. So I'll just do a quick ping test, 10.168.100.150, make sure I can see the machine, which I can, and then I'll just quickly do a ns lookup, take that away, and www.student.co.uk, and I can get a strange address. Let's have a look. What is in the zone? Let's have a look and see what's in the zone. Actually, before I do that, what I need to do, I actually need to... it's because I'm not on the right server. Sorry. Control-Alt-T. What I need to do is do the lookup from here. So it'll be ns lookup. www.student.co.uk. I actually ran the lookup from the server, which is incorrect. There we go. So I've done the lookup and I've got back my single address. If I flush the cache, let's have a look, see where we're... There we go. I've got that command already in there. Northumbria. I flushed the cache just to do a quick check. Yeah, that's the address I get back. If I go to the other one, I can just check to make sure that is correct. So if we go to DNS1, I go cat/etc/bind/db.student.co.uk, and there's the www. So that seems to be okay. Okay then, so we're pretty much ready to now do the workshop. So the next thing I need are the 3 servers. Now I've pre-created those, so just to show you where they are, we open up another terminal. I'll do SSH student at 10.168.100.154. Now I've got 3 of these servers to go and check. So there's the first one I'm going to check. So I log in. I've given it a name there. I've got some updates. So should I do them? No, I'll leave them for now because none of them are security updates, so I should be okay. So I'm on www1. So the next one I need to check is we open up another terminal and we go SSH student at 10.168.100, and this should be 155. Yes, we accept that, and then Northumbria, and that's www2, Control-Alt-T, and then we go SSH student at 10.168.100.156. Yes, Northumbria. Okay, so that's www3. So if we go here, we can see we've got www1, 2, and 3. And I've got my own console, and I've got the DNS server. So if we go to my little diagram again, 150 is the DNS, 54, 55, 56 is my 3 servers. Okay then, what do I need to do to those servers? So create the two servers. I've created 3. Use IP address from my range, which I have. I've given them a name. Install the partial LAMP and Apache. Okay, so what do I need to do that? So from here, what we'll do is we'll go to the first server and we go sudo apt install, Apache 2. So we'll install Apache 2 first. Northumbria. Yes. We can then, while that's installing, we can jump over to the second web server and go sudo apt install Apache 2. Northumbria. Yes, and then we can go to the third server. Sudo apt install Apache 2. Yes. Okay, so that's the 3 of them underway. So let's see what we need to do. So that's Apache, and we want PHP installed as well. Okay, let's quickly go to the first server. That should have finished there. So sudo apt install PHP. What we'll also need to do is do lib Apache 2. Oh no, how do we do that one again? Lib Apache 2 mod PHP, is that right? Yes, so there we go. Now, have I done the right way? I haven't installed PHP, so I need to install PHP as well. Oh, it's set up PHP for me. And libp. Oh, that's okay. So we'll go to the next one. Oh, which server was that? That's 1. So let's go to 2. So we can go sudo apt install. I should really have said PHP, then lib Apache 2 mod PHP. Oops. Sudo. There we go. Yes. And then we can go to the third server. So sudo apt install lib Apache 2 mod PHP. Yes. Okay, so that's the 3 servers. We've got that all in. So the next thing I need to do is set up my forward and reverse zones on the DNS server. Okay, so if we bring my machine back in, what we now need to work on is the actual DNS server. So what we need to do is we need to add a forward and reverse here. So sudo nano, and what I need to do here is where I've got the www, I actually need to add in the extra records for my server. So I've got my server 1, 2 and 3. IN a record, it's 10.168.100. Let's get this right. Let's look at these addresses. 154, 155, 156 for my machines. So I want 156, 155 and 154. And that should be the 10. Okay, so we've got that just about set up. Let's have a quick look at the workshop. Set up forward and reverse for them. So, okay. So that's the forward for the 3 servers. Save that off. Just a quick check of the workshop again. www1, yeah, okay. Okay, so we can drop out of that. And now what we'll do is we'll do the reverse zone. So this will be, 168.10. Oh, I didn't change the serial number. I'll need to go back and do that. So over here, we've got additional servers. So we've got 156.100. We've got 154.100. And we got 155.100. IN PTR www.student.co.uk and what's that one? Oh, that one's no longer needed, so we'll take that one out. So that's IN address, PTR www1, and then we want www2.student.co.uk. I've missed something. There we go, a W. Next one, IN PTR record www3.student.co.uk. Okay, so we'll change this. Just do a quick check of that. So it goes over to the, it's the 7th, so 7th01. www1, 2 and 3, 154, 155, 156. Okay, so save that. Exit out. Go up now and edit student, and this one again. Change that to the 7th. Sorry, 6th. 7th, sorry. And sequence number, it's 1. Drop out of that, and I think I'll just quickly check that again, make sure I got that the right way around. I did. So I'll exit. And that's it. Fine. Okay then, so that's done. So sudo systemctl restart bind name. Okay then, so that's the forward and reverse done. So let's have a look and see what I need to do now. Test them, I would guess. Oh, test the zone files. So let's go back to our DNS. So I go named checkzone student.co.uk, and that's db.student.co.uk. I'm not in the folder, /etc /bind/dbstudent.co.uk, and that seems fine. And the other one I need to check is the reverse zone, so that will be 168.10.in-addr.arpa, and that's db 168, and that looks okay. So let's restart the servers. Okay, well, now it's restarted, we can go back to our desktop machine and we can do a quick test now. That's not going to work very well. I need to do now is I need to flush my cache and then do the lookup. Can't find that. Okay, let's go back to the DNS server and see what's going on. So let's do a quick systemctl. Let's do a quick status on it and see what it says. Student loaded. Okay. Serial number 671. Okay, that seems okay. Just to be sure, 168, not 150. Can't find student.co.uk. So why can't it find that on the server? Let's do a quick check back on the server. Oh, of course, I'm looking for student www1. Okay. Let's go back to my machine. Doing the wrong lookups, aren't I? Don't have www anymore. I've got www1, www2. Oops. and www3. So that's my 3 web servers. Okay then, so I've got my 3 web servers and tested the zones. Right, access the default home page. Okay, so does it say on all of them? Test the servers by accessing them and create a simple hello page. Okay, so first things first, bring up a browser. Oh, there it is in the background. Okay, so www.1.student.co.uk. Ah, there we go. We got the first page. If we now go to 2, and we've got our page, and 3. Okay, so we've got our default pages, we think, because those pages are the same. So how do we get around that? Create a hello page on each of the servers, which includes the address of the server, and then access them. Okay, so if we go to our first server, www1 cd/r/www/html. And there's our index page. So what we need to do now is create a hello page. So sudo nano hello.html. Now, I'm just going to do this a very simple way. We're just going to put in the IP address 110.168.100. And server 1 is 154. So this is 154. So there we go. Simple. It's not really a web page. But, oh, there we go. So, exit out, save the buffer, yes. Let's go back. No, we won't. Let's go to the next one. 2, so cd/var/www/html. Sudo nano hello.html. And inside there, 10.168.100.155. Save that. And the third page. So cd/etc/ not etc, it's in var. var/www/html. So next thing we need to do is we need to go sudo nano and hello.html. 10.168.100.156. Save that, exit. Okay, so we've got our 3 hello pages now. So the next thing we need to do is let's have a look, see if we can find them. /hello.html. And there's 156, 154, and 155. So that's the 3 hello pages as well. So let's have a look what we need to do now. So we've done them. Now we need to create a info.php page on each of them. So let's quickly do that now. So on here we go cd, this is 3, so cd/var/www/html, sudo nano info.php. In here we go php, and we go php info, and then we come out alt save, exit. Okay, so that's 3 done. Now we do 2, so sudo nano info.php. Oops. And inside here, php info. Oops. And then we terminate out alt, exit. And last but not least, we do server 1. So sudo nano info.php. So php info, Oops, put that on the other line. And then we terminate the PHP and we save that as well. Okay, while I'm on there, if I just do a quick PHP -v, I can actually see the version I've got there running, and I'm running 7.4.3. Okay, so let's go back to the browser. So what I should be able to do now is I should now be able to execute that PHP script. So info.php, and let's see what we get. And there's my info page. So PHP is successfully installed and accessible. So if we now go to, well, we're on 2, so let's go to 1. It does the same, and then let's go to 3, and hopefully that will be the same as well. And that's, there we go. So that's basically the servers set up. So let's go back and let's have a look. Create 2, I've created 3. I've created the 3 servers. I've done the forward and reverse lookups. I've tested them. Haven't tested a reverse lookup. Let's do a quick reverse lookup check. There we go. So let's have a look. So if I do the ns look, oh, that's the server. I want my client machine. Oh, where's my client machine gone? Ah, there it is. Okay, so I've got an IP of 156. So let's do a ns lookup 10.168.100.156. And there we go. I've got an answer of WW3. Let's try the other ones as well. So try 5, I get a 2, and I try 4, and I get WW1. Okay, so I've tested all of them. So then done, then access the default home page, done that, created a simple hello page where I just put the IP address in, and that's worked. Now, create a PHP page on each server and access it. I've done that. So now I'm up to 6. So now I want to put in per user websites. Okay, so per user websites on WW1. Oops, let's bring that down. Let's go to our WW1 server. There we go. Sudo enmod a2 enmod user directories. Okay, that's activated. So now go sudo systemctl restart bind 9. Restart bind 9. Sorry, Apache 2. Okay, so that's restarted. So what I should be able to do now is go to the home folder, ls. I've got nothing in there. So mkdir public _html. Created it. chmod 755 public HTML. cd public _HTML. Public. Okay, so I'm in there. Let's see what I need to do in there. Add a hello page for the student account. Okay. So sudo, no, it says hello page. Is that an index page? Ah, yes, it is an index page. Sudo index.html. And hello from the student account. It's not really HTML, but there we go. There we go, from the student account. Let's save that. Now, what I should be able to do from here is go to WW1. So there's the default page. Now it says, go to WW1 student tilde student. Ah, there's a slash missing there. So that should be slash tilde student. So I'll fix that later. But for now, slash tilde student. And there we go, hello from the student account. So the tilde actually takes us to the student account. Okay, so what do we need to do next? Right, now we're going to move on, and we're now going to create a www mapping using round robin to all of the machines. Access the hello page using that URL. Okay, access it from another machine as well. Okay, let's have a look at how we can do that. Okay, so to map load balanced, we need to go to the DNS server to do that. So we need to, on here, add in our load balanced www. To do that, we go in a record 10.168.100.154. We then need to in a record 10.168.100.155. And in a record 10.168.100.156. Okay, so that's the forward. However, oh, it's okay. It looked like I was out of line, but it's not. Okay, so I've made a change. Let's save that. And then what we'll do is we'll add the reverse for those as well. So that would be 168. So down here, we now need to add these again, but all going to www. So control. I'll put those in again. But now, instead of going to that, the individual machines, they can go to all of the machines. And then we update the serial number for that too, and exit out. Okay, so we need to restart. Oops, quit that. Sorry, that should have been restatus. I want restart. Okay, so we've restarted it. Next, what do we do? Well, let's do a quick test from this local machine. Okay, first things first, let's clear the cache. Now what we'll do is we will run the query for www. And there, we're getting 3 addresses. Now, interestingly, round robin. So let's go back and have a look at our DNS server. So find named.conf.options. So inside here, inside our options, we now need to control our resource records. Okay, so inside here, what we need to do is in our options, resource record sets order. We need to oops. Okay, there we go. Right, what do I need to do? I need to, in here, say order cyclic. So in effect, resource record sets, if any multiple records occur, set the order that they come out to be cyclic. The other option is random. But that's not what we want in this case, we want cyclic. So if we now save that, now I haven't changed any of the databases, all I'm changing here is the order that they come out. So we can test that now from here. So if I do multiple queries, bring out student, now what I need to do is force it from that server, because obviously it'll cache. So 100.150. So I pull one out, 156, 154, and what we're finding now is 4, as we can see, was at the middle. It's then at the top, and now it's at the bottom. So they're rotating. So that's fine. So given that, I've got 155. I should get 156. And then I should be back to 154. So it's rotated round. Okay, so we've got the rotation working. So now what do I need to do? Public HTML, round robin, test the mapping using an slookup. I've just done that. Access the hello page using student. Okay. So let's go back to the browser. I go to www and I go to the hello page. Oh, sorry, there we go, and that's 154. So in this case, it went to the 154 server. If I refresh, keeps going back to that server. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go to here, flush my cache, go to the browser, and let's see what happens if I go to it again. I may find it's still stuck in the cache. Yeah, it's in the browser cache now. So, I've just realised a quick way to do that would be to go sudo apt install Chromium. Is it Chromium browser? I think it's Chromium browser. Okay, Chromium's installed. I flushed the cache, and what we'll do now is we will basically go to the same place on the two browsers. So www and then the hello.html 156 this time. That's because I've cleared it. So if I now go to my local machine, flush the cache, and then go to my browser, go to here, select this, Control C, go to the browser, paste that in, let's go to the hello site, and I get 154. If I go to here, I got 156. If I keep refreshing, I get the same page. If I go to here and keep refreshing, I get the same page. So it will keep going back to the same server. So that's the load balancing working. I could have used a separate machine to do it, but on the same machine using two browsers and flushing the local cache had the same effect. Okay, let's see what we need to do next. So access the hello page, flush the resolver and browser cache. I just used a second browser. Okay, time permitting, on the first server, create an account, CEO, and enable PHP scripting and set up theirs. Right, okay. That I'm actually going to leave to you to do. It's not that complicated. I would give a little hint here, and that is you have to update the PHP configuration file. So if I just, shall I go to, yes I will. I'll go to one of the servers and I'll just do a quick little drop in to show you where it is. CD, and that will be etc/Apache2. If I go ls minus la. If I go into here, and we've got confs available, conf and enabled. So cd conf, sorry, mods available. If we list up all the modules that are available, ls minus la grep php. As we can see, there's the 7.4. So we need to go sudo nano php 7.4 conf Northumbria. Type that in wrong, so try again. Northumbria. Okay, so if we go down here, we can see here that the PHP admin flag engine off. That's as much as a hint as I will give you. You need to do something with this to actually enable the CEO account. And the last part I will help with is there we go, sudo add user. So that's enough of a hint. So let's have a look. CEO account, how do you create it? Little hint. How do you enable the PHP for their account? There's a little hint there as well. So I'll let you have a look at that. Now, completely out of scope for the module, but definitely useful directed learning would be for you to have a look at virtual sites and how they work. So I'll just do a quick copy there. I'll use this virtual machine, why not? If we go into here, To look at the virtual hosting, if you go to the HTTPD Apache docs page, that will give you plenty of information on how to set that up as well. Okay then, so let's do a quick recap, because that's the end. Quick recap, right back to the beginning. Okay then, create the servers. Well, we did that, except we did a little bit more than that, because what I did was I actually pulled up this. So I changed my DNS to give me some extra space, as in VMware. I then had these 3 servers, so I could actually implement the load balancing, pointed the client here, and then configured these 3 servers accordingly. So what did we do? We set up WW1, 2 and 3. We did a partial LAMP install where we did the Apache and PHP. We're going to look at MySQL in session 10. We're going to look at NFS next session, in session 9. We then set up forwarders in the DNS and reverse. We then checked the zones. We set up a hello page on each of the servers with the IP address, so we could see each server was very, very distinctly different. We then set up the info page so we could see that PHP was working. We then set up the per user on WW1 specifically. We added a hello page to the student account. We could see that. We then accessed that student account. Now there should be a slash at the end of there, and I'll fix that before I post the notes. The next one is the index page must be located in that directory, which it was. We then created the load balanced www.student.co.uk, and we specifically specified cyclic, so it's round robin. We then tested the mappings and saw that we could cycle the IP addresses. We then accessed the hello page, and then by installing another browser and still flushing the resolver cache, of course, using another browser, we just went to that page again. So that ended up testing the load balancing for us so we could see how that would work. And time permitting, I've just explained briefly, give a little tip on how to create the user account and where you need to go to start changing the way the configuration is done for the per user accounts to enable one of them to have access to PHP scripting. And the last part is, for in your own time, if you have time, have a look at virtual hosting. So that's it. That's workshop 8 all done. Yep, workshop 8 all done. See you in session 9.